Hey, not many things to like here. A lot of negative surprises, in my opinion. We knew that the bar was high heading into earnings. We also knew that they're lapping tougher comps and Apple iOS issues. But the guidance here in Q1, single digits revenue growth, is much lower than anybody anticipated. I think the combination of lower monetization, lower engagement is kind of putting an air pocket in front of Facebook now. We continue to like all the call options that they have. I think they have a lot of undermonetized, unmonetized surface areas, but that remains to be seen. Right now, they just need to go through this tunnel of Apple iOS headwinds, of undermonetized surface areas, and then come out of this tougher comp era. So probably this remains under pressure for the next, call it 3 to 6 months.
Rohit, just to follow up on that, what valuation multiple was it on before today? Because I guess it wasn't that expensive relative to the S&P 500. And kind of how are you going to try and assess where it might find support moving on from here?
It was around low 20s, 21, perhaps 22, depending on which numbers you look at. So right now, we think they would still do more than $14 in earnings this year. They have about $20 in cash. You strip out $20 in cash from the current stock price. I'm doing this math as quickly with you with Wilf, and it is probably mid to high teens earnings for 22, which for a company of the size and scale of Facebook, I think that's extremely good value. But you would need to survive the tunnel that they're going to need to go through in the next call it 3 to 6 months, where we need to see evidence that they're out of the Apple iOS tunnel.
It is a stunning drop, down 22% for a company that's $1 trillion market cap, Stephanie. How do you make sense of what we just got from Facebook, especially stacked up with what we saw from Google, and which is also ad-supported, Alphabet, which surged today on better results?
Yeah, I was surprised, too, not only by the guidance for the first quarter, but also by the market's reaction. Advertising for the fourth quarter for Facebook was relatively strong. And I think people were counting on them to have a similar kind of posture as Google. I think I would imagine a lot of people are also looking at that $10 billion loss from Reality Labs. It still remains a really big question mark if they're going to be able to monetize the metaverse in the same way that they have monetized apps. And so, with all of the headwinds that Rohit has already pointed out, the Apple iOS tunnel and the just the downward guidance for the first quarter, and then you layer on top of that the uncertainty, that big widening loss associated with Reality Labs, it feels like a lot of people are going to stay on the sidelines.